छोड़ दे. शिवसाई కూడా చెయ్యి రికార్డు ఉండని అట్లా. ఓకే, విల్ స్టార్ట్ నౌ. అనుజ్ రెడ్డి మీ ఫ్రెండ్ జాయిన్ అమ్మను, వీళ్ళ ఏమైనా ఉంటే చూద్దాం. माइक काम कर रहा है, मैं बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Okay, electrostatics. This chapter, electro and statics, right? So electro means related to electron, and it is something related to charge. Okay. And statics means stationary. Okay. So dynamics means, you know, it's moving. Static means stationary. Fluid statics we have learned already, isn't it? So charge, when it is stationary, what can it do? That is the chapter about. चार्ज स्टेशनरी है तो क्या कर सकता है? ओके, वो चैप्टर है बस. So we'll learn what happens when the charge is stationary, what it can do, all that we will see. Okay, so first of all we'll learn properties of charge. Okay, so what it can do is in nature, first of all, in nature we have observed that two particles or objects, okay, having charge are exerting force on each other. Okay, this is what we have observed. We don't know why. There is no reason. Okay, I mean, we don't know the reason, even if it is there. These are like laws. Why two particles having mass are attracting each other? We don't know. Why two particles having charge are attracting or repelling each other? We don't know. Now, how did we find that a particular object is having charge? Okay, so let us say you already know Newton's gravitation law. Now, if you have two objects having mass m1 and m2, okay, there will be a certain force F between the particles or objects. Now, the force due to gravitation is, let us say, F. But sometimes it has been observed that this force is n times F, means quite larger than what you are expecting due to gravitation. Now, this has given a suspicion that there is something else apart from mass which is actually exerting force. So, therefore, people have come to a conclusion that there is something called charge in the bodies. And of course, normally they were not experiencing this n times F force, but when the rubbing is done or something like that, which can make the body uh, have losing charge, losing electrons or gaining electrons, such kind of things when are done, then the force was nf, that is quite multiple times of f. So this made people to think that apart from mass there has to be some other entity which is responsible for the force between the objects. Now that entity which is responsible for force between the bodies apart from mass is given name charge. Okay, is given name charge. Now this charge is again of two kinds. Okay, so charge is of. So we are learning about charge now first. Now, why people have got an idea of charge? That is the reason. That is, gravitational force was not enough to satisfy people for the force between two particles. Sometimes, not every time. Sometimes. Now, charge is of two kinds. Okay. Now, again, you should actually get it out why it is not more than two kinds. Why it is not more than two kinds. Can we have charge more than two kinds? Is the question. Again, you need to get this question. Why only two kinds? And these two kinds have been named as plus and minus. Suppose I had four kinds of charge, for example. Then I would have named them differently. Let us say A, B, C, D, or X, Y, Z, or Sandeep, and Mukala, and Buddhadev, and Ashish. Let us say. Okay, I say, कुछ भी name only two kinds of forces are existing in the nature, either repulsion or attraction. Okay, repulsion, you have only two kinds. Experience the force. Okay, repulsion, sorry, kinds of forces we have experienced in the case of charged bodies. Now you should understand that in the gravitation we have just attraction. Okay. Now the prime difference is this. In gravitation we have just attraction. All the particles do attract each other. That's it. But then in electrostatics we may have repulsion and attraction. Different. Okay. And depending on the kinds, different kinds, you may have different kinds of forces, repulsion or attraction. That is like charges and unlike charges we talk. We'll see that in the later part now. So first thing is what? Charge is of two kinds, plus and minus. I have named them plus and minus. That's it. Not me, of course. Somebody has named it. So next, second, charge is quantized. Charge is quantized. Okay, what do you mean by charge is quantized? Any body can have n times the charge of an electron. You know electron, already you have studied. It's the smallest entity which can have charge. Smallest independently existing particle which can have charge. That is an electron. Okay, so every body, every object can have charge which is an integral multiple of electrons charge. So that has to be. So somebody is claiming, let us say this body has 22 by 7 into 10 power minus 6 coulombs of charge, then please reject it. You cannot have such charge because it's a irrational number. You cannot have such charges for any object. It should be always integral multiple of electron charge, that is n times 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. I think you know the electron charge. That's not a. Next thing is charge is constant. Okay, throughout the universe. Throughout the universe, charge doesn't change. What do you mean by charge doesn't change? You cannot create or destroy charge. Basically, it means that you cannot create or destroy charge. That means in the universe, it cannot change. Now, this three are the fundamental properties. Apart from this, one more property is there, that is like charges repel and unlike charges attract each other. Okay, that is also one of the properties of charge, which you know, but then you can list it as a property. Okay. What is it? Like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Actually, again, we don't have a reason for this. Why it's happening like this? Why like charges are repelling each other? We don't know. But in gravitation, you see, in gravitation, you may have any object having mass and another object having mass. We will treat them as like masses. In gravitation, like masses are attracting each other. Actually, we don't have unlike mass. I mean, we don't have another minus m negative mass. We don't have in practicality, isn't it? Negative mass you don't have. Generally, you don't have. Don't worry about that negative mass method and everything. We don't have negative mass. So there is there is only one kind of mass. You don't have two kinds of masses. First of all. So the only force existing between these like masses, that is one kind of mass, is attraction. That's it. But whereas electrostatics, this is the prime difference between charges and mass. Masses, we have like masses only. We don't have unlike masses, first thing. And charges, we have two kinds, and like charges repel each other. That's a prime difference between gravitation and electrostatics. Apart from that, the total electrostatics, not total, at least you can say 70% of electrostatics is actually more or less will be same as gravitation chapter. Okay, so we'll see that step by step. Okay, so these are about charges. Okay, now we will talk about what will happen. So let us see the first slide again. Okay, look at this. Electrostatics. We are talking about charge and statics, stationary. So what will happen when a charge is stationary, and what will happen if the charge starts to move? Okay, this will try to see. One second. Yeah. So a charge. Okay, at a distance r, for example. Okay, it is like, see, a charge is like a flower. I mean, uh, how I am comparing a charge with a flower is, suppose a charge is kept, suppose a flower is kept in a room, and somebody is entering the room. Can he experience the fragrance? Yes, he can experience the fragrance. Now, how can he experience it? Because the nose detects it, the senses detect them, the fragrance in the room, right? So the similar way, a charge which is kept in space is experienced by another charge only. When another charge q dash comes in the vicinity of the charge which is present already in the space, it will experience the force. It may be repulsion or it may be attraction, doesn't matter, but it is detected only when another charge is coming into the room. Just like nose and flower. Flower's fragrance is detected only when a person is entering the room who has a detector, that is nose. The same way, a charge will have influence around it, and this influence is given with electric field. Okay, so this will later, just like gravitational field, this influence is electric field. Okay, we'll talk about this later, but I'm just explaining you what can a charge do when it is stationary. It can have influence around it. Now when a charge comes into the vicinity, it will experience a force too. That force is known as Coulomb's law. I mean, the force given by force between the two charges is given by Coulomb's law. Two charged particles is given by Coulomb's law, and that is what Q dash by R square. This is magnitude of force which I am writing here. If you want to write F bar, then you can write a cap here. So this force, let us talk about Coulomb's law for a moment. Okay, so this force F bar is between the line joining the centers of the particles. Okay, along the line joining centers of the particles. So that's why R cap is kept here. Okay, but is it repulsive or in which direction? That depends on the charges and on which charge we are talking about. For example, let us say I want the force on this Q dash. Then on Q dash, because I am assuming that both are positive charges, like charges, the force will be in this direction. Okay, in this direction along this line. And on Q, the force will be in this direction. In this direction along the line joining the particles. Okay. So R cap's direction, depending on the situation, you are supposed to take. Okay, so don't strictly adhere to the what I'm telling you. The magnitude is fine, Q dash by R square. But then R cap, what is R cap? Indicate depending on the particle, on which particle you're talking about, and depending on the nature of the particles, are they like or unlike charges, it will change. So you just try to understand. If you're talking about Q dash, then the force is this side. If you're talking about Q, then the force is in this direction. If both are like charges, okay, they are like charges, then this is what we are talking about. Okay. What is R? R is center to center distance of the particles. Now, please, actually center to center I need not write, because we are talking about particles. So particles, you need not again talk about center of the particle itself is very small. Okay. So first thing, this law is valid for particles, not for objects. Okay. It is valid only for particles. It's not valid for objects. That means you cannot say, suppose you have a body like this and you have another body like this, is having a charge Q dash. Okay, I'll take center to center distance from R. And if I say that Q dash divided by R square is a force between them, then it's wrong. No, wrong. This formula is valid only between the particles. And okay, let us go to the next slide. So F mod F is equal to Shivasai అర్థమవుతున్నారా? Okay. Okay, so Q dash by R square. Here K is a constant, and that constant is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay. So epsilon naught energy, it is related to the space between the particles. Suppose you have Q and Q dash here like this, and there is some space. The space is filled up with some material. Let us say cotton, water, kerosene, anything. Okay. Let us say these charges are kept in some other material. Then this constant cannot be used. Some other constant will be used. Okay, we'll see how the constant will change. But if the gap between Q and Q dash is vacuum, then this constant is used. Okay, this constant is used. Okay, this is called permittivity of free space. Okay, permittivity of free space. 1 second. Okay. So what is this constant? Sorry. So what is this constant known as? The name of this constant is permittivity. Okay, and if it is epsilon naught, then it is permittivity of free space. That is, if it is, if you are talking about vacuum, then this is the thing. Okay, that is permittivity of free space we keep using. Now, suppose if we have some other material, then what? Then what? Suppose you have some other material between Q and that is what we have, what I have written here. Let us say this is kerosene. It is filled, and in kerosene box, two charges are fixed somewhere with some help. Now, how will you find the force between the particles? Okay, so this point is very important and not important, but confusing. Okay, so that's why please concentrate on what I'm telling. Okay, suppose you have kerosene, then K kerosene will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon kerosene. Okay, epsilon kerosene. Epsilon kerosene, I'll just write epsilon K, epsilon kerosene, by epsilon naught is equal to epsilon R of kerosene. What is this? This is called relative permittivity. Okay, this is called relative permittivity. Epsilon R of kerosene. Epsilon actually absolute. See, this is for free space. A similar term will be there for kerosene also. That is epsilon kerosene. Now I am talking about this ratio. Epsilon kerosene divided by epsilon naught is equal to epsilon R of kerosene. That is relative permittivity. Relative permittivity of kerosene. Relative permittivity of kerosene. Just like relative density. Okay. Now, if you want to replace this with epsilon kerosene, epsilon R kerosene, then how would it look like? 1 by 4 pi epsilon R kerosene . 1 second, guys. Battery is low, that's why the slide has gone. I will just put the charging and okay. That should help. Yeah. So if you want to replace epsilon kerosene, with what we will replace? Epsilon or kerosene multiplied by epsilon naught. Okay, I'm just multiplying this here. So epsilon kerosene is replaced with what? Epsilon or kerosene into epsilon. Why this has to be done? Because in usually you won't be given epsilon kerosene. ये नहीं दिया जाएगा. They will keep giving you this value. So you have to just multiply that with epsilon naught and then you have to replace it. Okay. It's not over. This is just beginning. Okay. Now let us now talk about what is the force between these two particles which are kept in kerosene. Okay. This force is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon r epsilon naught epsilon r epsilon naught. Epsilon r is what? Relative permittivity of anything. If you are talking about kerosene, then it is for kerosene. If you are talking about water, then it is for water. So force is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon r epsilon naught into q dash by r square. By r square. That's easy to understand because epsilon r epsilon naught is nothing but epsilon kerosene. That's what we are supposed to replace, isn't it? Okay. But here you need to understand that this is net force. Net force. That is, if I am asking you, what is the net force on Q? Net force on Q. Then this is correct. If I am asking you, what is the net force on Q dash? Then also it's correct. Net force on Q and Q dash both are same, action and reaction, and they are equal to this. Not exactly action and reaction, but they are equal to this. Net force on Q dash and Q, both are equal to this. But if I talk about force due to Q on Q dash, then this is not correct. Not correct. It is not correct. Okay, not correct. We're not supposed to take this. Then what is correct? Q on Q dash is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q dash by r square only. That means as if it's vacuum. वो वैक्यूम नहीं है, मगर फिर भी जैसे वैक्यूम है ऐसे ही ट्रीट करना है जब Q और Q डैश के बीच में फोर्स पता करना है तुम्हें. ऐसे क्यों करना है वो सब कैपेसिटर्स में लर्न करना. We will learn why this has to be done like this. We'll learn that in capacitors. We have induced charges and everything. Okay, so what happens is actually this material which is there in the kerosene, it will get oriented and there will be some induced charge near every charge. That we'll see later. But then right now, is this thing clear? That force between net force on Q dash, yes, net force on Q dash is correct. This is what according to your expectation. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon r epsilon naught into q dash by r square. But force due to Q on Q dash, only Q on Q dash, then this is the answer. Then how come this is becoming the answer? Net because the kerosene is putting some force on this charge Q and Q dash. Net force is 0 on the kerosene, but kerosene is able to put force on Q and Q dash. How is it able to put? That we'll see later. We'll talk about that later. But Right now, you need to understand that net force on Q. అంటే Q మీద ఉండే టోటల్ ఫోర్స్ Q డాష్ పెట్టే ఫోర్స్ ఇంకా కెరోసిన్ పెట్టే ఫోర్స్ అన్ని కలిపి ఫోర్స్ ఎంత ఇదన్నమాట. అన్ని కలిపి. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈస్ డ్యూ టు ఆల్ ద kerosene as well as the Q dash. Whereas only due to Q dash on Q, what is the force? Normal thing. No epsilon r. Difference అర్థమైందా అందరికి? Okay, so it's very important here to understand. If somebody is asking you Q force due to Q on Q dash, then this is the answer. If somebody is asking what is net force on Q or Q dash, then this is the answer. That's very important thing to understand. Now, okay, so all this story we have learned is about Coulomb's law and what happens when some material is there in between. Okay, this is the story. Okay, next slide. Okay, now see, we are first go to the first slide again. First slide, charge stationary. We didn't talk about this yet. Inka din gurinchi maatladalem manam. Okay, let us talk about that now. Because for that I needed Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law వస్తేనే ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పేది అర్థమవుతుంది అన్నమాట. So what does it say? Stationary. If it is not stationary, what will happen? Okay, let us try to learn that. Again, coming to the flower example. In a room, if you have a flower and someone is entering the room, then he will experience the fragrance. Fine. Suppose in the room, the flower is moving. Then what will happen? The influence also will move, isn't it? Okay, the flower is moving, let us say. The smell also will move. At what rate the smell will move? It depends on actually the speed at which the smell can travel. Yes or no? Okay, smell can travel. So similarly, a charge when it is moving and the field around it, and the field already you know because of the gravitation. That's why I'm using the word field so frequently. So I will explain what is field, but then before that you already know gravitational field. That's why I'm using it. So the field around the field is like the fragrance. Field around the particle also travels at a speed of light. The influence of the charge. Field means what? Influence of the charge. Okay, or you can say electromagnetic news. News travels at the speed of light. And for example, let us say this charge is here right now. You will have some influence here. Okay, or if this flower is there, your nose is here, let us say, for example. I pour a drawing, just adjust. So your nose is there like that. It is smelling. Suddenly the flower has moved in this direction, let us say. Even then, now your nose will detect the fragrance as if the flower is here. Yes or no? Because smell didn't travel as fast as flower, let us, for example. Okay, are you getting me? Anybody else is getting confused? Please raise your hand. I'm telling something here. What I'm telling is, flower जब move हो रहा है, तो fragrance भी move होगा. होगा, पक्का होगा, मगर या अनुराध, यू कैन स्पीक. నీ మైక్ పని చేయట్లేదా? ఓ ల్యాప్టాప్ లో చూస్తున్నావా? ఓకే ఓకే ఫైన్ ఫైన్ ఫైన్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. సి, ఫ్లవర్ ట్రావెల్ అయినప్పుడు సపోజ్ చాలా ఫాస్ట్ గా మూవ్ చేసినాం ఫ్లవర్, అయినా కూడా మనకి సడన్ గా చేంజ్ కనిపించదు కదా, నోస్ కి సడన్ గా చేంజ్ కనిపించదు, కొంచెం అయినాక అర్థమవుతుంది ఫ్లవర్ దగ్గరకు మూవ్ అయిందని, అవునా కదా? సో అదే విధంగా ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెట్, ఇప్పుడు చార్జ్ మూవ్ అయింది అనుకో, మనకి ఏర్పడదు. సపోజ్ అనదర్ చార్జ్ ఇస్ దేర్ హియర్, if this charge is moving at light speed or greater than light speeds, we will not know it, this charge will not know it, because this electric field didn't travel as fast as this charge. Are you getting me? Same flower laga. Okay, so ఆ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ అనేది అంత ఫాస్ట్ గా ట్రావెల్ కాలే, అది దూరం పోయినా దగ్గరకు వచ్చినా అంత ఫాస్ట్ గా ట్రావెల్ కాలే, కాబట్టి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ చేసే ఫోర్స్, ఓకే, బికాస్ ద ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ డిడ్ంట్ ట్రావెల్ యాజ్ ఫాస్ట్ as చార్జ్, వాట్ q dash experiences, what force q dash experiences, it will be same as if it was before. ఇంతకు ముందు ఉన్న డిస్టెన్స్ ఎంత ఉందో అంత డిస్టెన్స్ తోనే ఫోర్స్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి. With this distance only you are supposed to find the force between charges q and q dash. Even though charge is moving, charge has moved, let us say r dash distance, now the present distance is r minus r dash, still I will use r only to find the force, because field, the influence another anta change kale, and this charge q dash is experiencing force due to the field, not due to the charge. That's a theory. Okay, beautiful theory. What is the theory? This charge is experiencing force due to the electric field, but not due to this charge. Ante smell tho, okay, due to the fragrance this is experiencing the force, not due to the flower. That's what it means. So that's why for when the charge is traveling at light speeds, then you are supposed to take the previous distance, not the present distance. ఇప్పుడున్న డిస్టెన్స్ చూడద్దు అనమాట, ఇంతకు ముందు ఎక్కడ ఉంది దాన్ని బట్టి స్మెల్ ఎంత ఉంది అన్నదాన్ని. స్మెల్ అంటే ఫీల్డ్, ఇక్కడ హియర్ ఫ్రేగ్రెన్స్ ఇస్ లైక్ ఫీల్డ్. దిస్ ఇస్ మై ఓన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐ హావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ so that you understand field, flower and charge.
సార్ ఒకవేళ అది అంటే మీరు అన్నట్టు కొంచెం దగ్గరకు వచ్చినా అంటే ఫోర్స్ ఏమే ఉంటుంది సార్ ఆ ఫ్లవర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తో కంపేర్ చేసి?
అవునవును, ఎప్పుడు లైట్ స్పీడ్ తో మూవాలి ఇది. ఓకే, చార్జ్ లైట్ స్పీడ్ తో మోతే అట్లాంటి కరెక్ట్. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే,
చిన్న చిన్న స్పీడ్లతో కాదు. ఇంకొకటి, వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, when charge moves, actually when charge ఈ ఫ్యూచర్ లో నేర్చుకుంటారు మీరు, actually you might have already learned in your 10th, when charge moves it can create magnetic field. It can create magnetic field. Magnetic field is represented by B, so I'm just writing this. So it can create magnetic field. Now a prime basic question, try to understand, moving is what? A relative term actually. Ante neeto move with respect to you, it may be moving, with respect to some other guy it may not be moving. You don't know, isn't it? So basic thing, try to understand, moving and not moving is a relative term. So when I'm saying a charge moves, it can create magnetic field, that means what? With respect to you it is creating magnetic field, and with respect to your friend it may not create magnetic field, it may be at rest.
your friend is moving with the same speed as charge, let us say, for example. Okay, what charge to part పోతుంది అనుకున్నాం. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? What will happen? With respect to you, it will create magnetic field. With respect to your friend, it is not going to create magnetic. Can this be true? Yes, it can be true. This also can be true. So B can be magnetic field అనేది relative, అంటే depending on the frame it will change. Okay, magnetic field is created when charge is moving. When charge is stationary, only electric field is created. Okay, when charge is stationary, only electric field is created. When charge is moving, it can create magnetic field also. Apart from electric field, it can create magnetic field also. Electric field will anyways be there. Apart from that, magnetic field. But moving is a relative term. Therefore, creating magnetic field also depends on the frame. I hope everybody understood this. This will talk about this in the later chapters. Don't worry about this. But I am talking about the first slide, first thing, that is stationary means what? I mean, should it be really stationary or not? If it is not stationary, can't it create magnetic field? Yes. It can create magnetic, it can create electric field even though it is moving. Okay, so don't be in a wrong notion that only stationary charge can create electric field. Moving charges also can create electric field. Okay. So this is about the chapter's heading. Okay. Of course, introduction is over. Okay. We have seen one by one. Let us see the slides again. Okay, I will post the video also. You can actually see the video again. Okay. Okay. So, till now what we have learned Coulomb's law, we have learned about electrostatics basics, charge we have learned about, and properties of charge we have learned about. Now, what will happen? Okay, so Coulomb's law we have learned. We'll see some application. I mean, not applications exactly. We'll see some examples on Coulomb's law also. Okay. So before we go for electric field and learning about electric field, we'll see a small example on Coulomb's law. Suppose you have a charge Q1 here, charge Q2 here, and let us say you have a charge Q here. I wish to find the force on this charge Q due to Q1 and Q2. Very simple. This is distance, let us say R1. This distance is, let us say, R2. Then how do you do that? Q1 K, due to Q1, there will be a force in this direction. What would be that? K Q1 Q divided by R1 square. And due to Q2, there will be a force in this direction. K Q1 Q2 divided by, sorry, Q Q1 Q2. Q Q2 divided by R2 square. And there will be an angle between these two. So you can add them vectorially. Forces there, you can add them vectorially. This is nothing but superposition principle. That means when you are supposed to find the force on a particle which is there and few charges there surrounding it or at a distance from it, then how do you find the force on the charge? You will find the force due to every charge and just add vectorially. Okay, so that is called superposition principle. Superposition principle. Okay. Now, so what is superposition principle? Adding the forces individually, finding the force due to each charge individually on a particle and adding them vectorially. That is called superposition principle. Very simple. For example, you have a ring having a charge Q of radius R, let us say. And on the axis of a ring at a distance, let us say D, you have a charge Q1. Then how will you find the force on this Q1? Okay, how will you find the force on this Q1? Imagine. Okay. Okay, at a distance D, you have Q1. We will consider a particle here. Okay. Due to this particle, we will find force. Okay. And it will have this component and this component. This force has two components like this. And if you take particles like this, a similar fashion, itla prati particle to force find out this. Okay. So if you find force on this charge due to every particle like this, then it will have a horizontal one and it will have a vertical. And if you see from here, itla chuste meeku em anpistadi when you use field ee vertical chudandi, vertical etla anpistadi. Okay, how will it, you will see that, you will see the field like this. Correct? Yes or no? Now, if you see this horizontal field, you cannot see, of course, you cannot see the horizontal field. Even if you want to represent that, then it will be like this, arrows like this. Okay. Anything towards you is represented like this. Okay. So this force will be what? Let us see. Okay. This force will be Q1 divided by R square plus D square under root whole square. Under root whole square కాబట్టి R square plus D square direct వస్తుంది. Okay. Now this angle is theta, for example. Okay. That angle is theta, R and D. Then what will be this angle? Same angle as theta. That also will be theta. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ vertical components అన్ని ఏమవుతాయి? What will be happening to the vertical components? All the vertical components, they will be cancelling off. Okay. They will be cancelling off. And net vertical component is 0. Only horizontal components are left over. What are the horizontal components? K Q1 Q2 K Q1 Q divided by R square plus D square cos theta. So cos theta is what? Cos theta is D divided by root of R square plus D square. Okay. Now you need to understand, I cannot take directly total Q. I have found due to a small particle only. So what I'll do is I'll have to take dq here. Okay, dq. What is dq? dq will be equal to q divided by 2 pi r, that is charge per unit length, into r d theta, small d theta. Small. This is dt r d alpha. Okay. Theta ante malla verede aitade r d alpha, but this is d alpha. Okay. ఫిగర్ అర్థమవుతున్నారా అనిరుద్? అర్థం కాకపోతే చేతొచ్చు. ఓకేనా? మిగతా వాళ్ళందరికి అలవాటే కదా, అర్థం కాకపోతే చేతొచ్చాను, మీ అందరికి చెప్తలేను నేను. ఓకే. సో మీరు ఇది గ్రావిటేషన్ కూడా చేసి ఉంటారు ఆల్రెడీ. సో dq can be replaced with this. Okay, and then integration everything. Okay, so ultimately the answer would be like this: k q1 q divided by q1 d divided by r square plus d square to the power of 3 by 2. Okay, that is the Fx, force, horizontal force. Anybody has a doubt in this? అంటే ఇది ఇక్కడ పెట్టండి, ఇది ఇక్కడ పెట్టి ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ చేయాలి. ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ చేసి ఫ్రమ్ 0 to 2 pi చేస్తే ఫోర్స్ వచ్చేస్తుంది, టోటల్ ఫోర్స్ చేయండి, చేస్తే వస్తుంది. వెరీ సింపుల్, అది మీకు అర్థమైపోతుంది. ఓకే, సో దిస్ విల్ బి ద ఎఫెక్ట్స్. అనురుద్, ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ వచ్చా కొద్ది గొప్ప? అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్లో ఫిజిక్స్లో నేర్చుకొని ఉంటుంది చూడండి. ఓకే, సో ఇది ఇంటిగ్రేషన్. ఈ ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ లో ఇవన్నీ కాన్స్టెంట్స్. ఐఎమ్ రౌండింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద కాన్స్టెంట్స్. దిస్ ఈస్ అ కాన్స్టెంట్, దిస్ ఇస్ అ కాన్స్టెంట్, దిస్ ఇస్ అ కాన్స్టెంట్, దిస్ ఇస్ అ కాన్స్టెంట్. ఇవన్నీ బయటకు వస్తాయి. ఆల్ దిస్ విల్ కమ్ అవుట్. ఓన్లీ dq will be there. Actually directly you can integrate dq and say q directly. In this problem you can do that. Not in every problem. In this problem you can say. And the answer will be this. Okay, क्या आशीष समझ में आया?
यस सर.
ओके. तो ऐसे पता करना होगा, कंटिन्यूअस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है तो फोर्स कैसे पता करना होगा, ऐसे पता करना, कंटिन्यूअस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है तो. ओके, सो now we will learn about field. Okay, so force is always between two particles, always between two particles or bodies or objects, whatever, but two is important. అంటే రెండు ఉండాలి ఖచ్చితంగా, అప్పుడే ఫోర్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడవచ్చు. సో ఆల్వేస్ let us say you are applying force on what, I will ask. You are applying force on a wall or you are applying force on a friend. Okay, so always you should have the other object when you are trying to apply the force. You cannot apply force at a point. That's wrong notion. Force at a point is, there is nothing like force at a point. Okay, but field is not like that. Okay, field, that's what you are going to learn in the next slide. Field. Field at a point we talk about. Okay, field at a point. Field at a point we talk, and force between the particles we talk. So different things. Okay, force between the particles and field at a point. So what is field at a point? How do you take field at a point? Okay, how do you consider field at a point? A charge q, if you have, okay, then another charge q dash or qt, let us say, is there at a distance r, let us say. Then field force, actually, first of all, force is given by what? Force is given by what? K Q Qt divided by r square. Now, mathematical definition of field is at a distance r. For this charge q, I am trying to find field at a distance r. Okay, mathematical definition of field is given by F bar by Qt F bar by Qt limit Qt tends to 0. Qt tends to 0. This is the mathematical definition of field. Actually, what you learn field in your childhood, I mean, in first year, you might have learned already field. That field is just force by mass. This is not completely correct. It's not completely correct. For our theoretical purpose, for paperwork and all, you can actually assume this to be true. Okay, but that is not completely correct. Why it is not completely correct? Let us try to understand. And why this limit Qt tends to 0 has to be there. Okay, that we will try to understand. Anuj, Jalsa, field is equal to force by mass, gravitational field, G bar equal to gravitational force. Okay, fine, no problem. Gravitational force by mass, no problem. Say field in gravitation for a particular mass, let us say m1, m2, there gravitational force is given by what? Gm1 m2 by r square. Okay, there will be attractive force between the particles. Distance is r. Let us suppose only a particle. This m2 is not there. Let us say. Okay, then somebody Balaji garu mic off cheyale.
Sorry.
So due to mass m1, ikkada influence unta same flower at a point. तुम लोगों को फर्स्ट ईयर में मैं कैसे समझाया था? एक दादा है, उसका एरिया है, उसका आई मीन इन्फ्लुएंस एरिया रहेगा, उसमें कोई नया आदमी आ रहा है, नया दादा आएगा, तब वो उसका यहाँ का कुछ नहीं करेगा, है ना? तो ऐसे अब मैं कैसे एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ? एक फ्लावर एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ. I hope everybody is able to understand. So there will be influence here. Okay, field, gravitational field due to a mass at a distance r is given by gm1 by r square. Due to point charges, field is given by what? Gm1 by r square. That's the field here. G. Sorry. And field direction will be like this. Mathematical definition of field is F by M. You can actually directly consider M2. And force already find out divided by M2 is same as Gm1 by R square. Ante M1 walla ikkada field enta, M1 के वजह से यहाँ पे field कितना है? ये है field. అర్థమైందా అనురుద్? M1 వల్ల M2 దగ్గర ఫీల్డ్ ఎంత? ఫోర్స్ ఆన్ M2 డివైడెడ్ బై M2. చేస్తే అక్కడ ఫీల్డ్ వస్తుంది అనమాట. ఓకేనా, వాళ్ళకి ఫీల్డ్ కొత్త కాదు. ఓకే, నౌ అంటే ఫీల్డ్ ఎట్లా ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలి, ఫోర్స్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేసి ఒకవేళ M1 తో ఫీల్డ్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకో, అప్పుడు M2 తో డివైడ్ చేయాలి, కింద డినామినేటర్ లో M2 ఉండాలి. ఓకేనా, అది జాగ్రత్తగా చూసుకో. సో M1 తో ఇక్కడ ఫీల్డ్ ఎంత, M2 దగ్గర Gm1/r². సో ఒకవేళ నువ్వు ఫోర్స్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ చేయాలనుకుంటే ఫీల్డ్ నుంచి అప్పుడు ఎట్లా చేస్తావు, ఓకే, field into mass is force. Field into mass is force. This is what you do. A similar thing we are going to do in charges. Okay, now why do you want, okay, mathematical definition we'll see in the gravitation also. This is what limit m tends to 0, f bar by m is field, gravitational field. Now why m has to tend to 0? Why m has to tend to 0? Let us try to understand that. For example, m1 is there, m2 is there. Okay, so let us assume that this m1 is little flexible, like jelly లాగా ఉంది అనుకుందాం ఇది. ఓకే, M2 ఏమో సాలిడ్ గా ఉంది, ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, ఎట్లున్నాయి కదా M2. అప్పుడు ఏమైతుంది, M2 అట్రాక్ట్ చేస్తే ఇక్కడ ఒక नेल పెట్టి ఫిక్స్ చేసినారు దీన్ని. ये पूरा तुम लोगों को फर्स्ट ईयर में एक्सप्लेन किया था, तो इसीलिए मैं हिंदी में नहीं बता रहा हूँ. ఇక్కడ नेल పెట్టి ఫిక్స్ చేసినాం దీన్ని. సో ఇది డిస్టార్ట్ అయితే అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉందా లేదా, ఇట్లా జెల్లీలా ఉంటే, అంటే M2 అట్రాక్షన్ వల్ల ఇది డిస్టార్ట్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది కదా. ఇట్లా అట్రాక్షన్ వల్ల ఇది గుంజుకుంటుంది కదా, నేల్ పెట్టిన ఫిక్స్ చేసిన ఇట్లా షేప్ చేంజ్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది కదా. అప్పుడు షేప్ చేంజ్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏంటి, షేప్ చేంజ్ అయితే ఇక్కడ ఫీల్డ్ చేంజ్ అయిపోతుంది, దీనివల్ల ఉండే ఫీల్డ్ ఇక్కడ చేంజ్ అయిపోతుంది. అట్లా చేంజ్ కావద్దు అంటే, ఇఫ్ ద ఫీల్డ్ షుడ్ నాట్ చేంజ్ డ్యూ టు దిస్ డిస్టార్టెడ్ మాస్, then m has to tends to 0. అంటే ఈ టెస్ట్ మాస్ M2 ఏదైతే ఉందో అది చాలా తక్కువ ఉండాలన్నమాట, అప్పుడే ఇక్కడ ఫీల్డ్ చేంజ్ కాకుండా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, అక్కడ ద ఫీల్డ్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి చేంజ్డ్ హియర్. అంటే నువ్వు మార్చి ఫీల్డ్ మెజర్ చేయకూడదు కదా. యూ షుడ్ నాట్ చేంజ్ ద ఫీల్డ్ అండ్ మెజర్ ఇట్, యూ షుడ్ మెజర్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్. అంటే ఒక పార్టికల్ వల్ల ఇక్కడ ఫీల్డ్ ఎంత అని అడిగినప్పుడు, due to a particle, if I ask you what is the field here, you should not change and measure the field here at point P. You should measure the actual field. So when you are bringing to measure the field at point P, when you are bringing a test mass m, the test mass should be as small as possible. If the test mass is not small, then what will happen is this body may get distorted, and when it gets distorted, the field may change here, and the force may be changing on MT, and it is useless to find the changed force. So please be careful when you are trying to find the field. You should not change the present field. If you don't want to change the present field, you have to bring as small mass as possible or as small charge as possible. Okay, so I hope everybody is clear on this. Now if you want to find field due to a charge q at a distance r from here, then yes, for that, to find the field practically what you do is you bring a test charge here qt, okay, and you find the force between these two charges qt divided by r². Now you divide this with qt again, that will be the field at that point. Okay, E, okay, modulus of E. Direction we'll see later. Right now, modulus of E is given by this. That's easy to understand. kq/r². But then, again the same argument. You should not bring large charges. Qt should be as small as possible. Qt should be as small
as possible. Okay, so if Qt is large, it's not good. Qt should be as small as possible. Now, so mathematical definition of electric field is given by what? Electric field E bar is equal to limit Qt tends to 0, F bar by Qt. Okay, F bar by Qt. Qt tends to 0. So why this term, this new term, Qt tends to 0 has to be there? I hope everybody understood. Okay, mathematically that's how it's given. So this is electric field. So we always talk about electric field at a point. We don't talk about electric field. We don't say electric field between 2 points or electric field between 2 particles. That's wrong notion. Again, electric field is always at a point due to it can be due to an assembly. Okay, you may have 3 or 4 charges, and due to that you can find the field at a point also. Okay, for example, one second. So, for example, you have, let's say, 10 seconds, please. For example, let us say you have Q1 here, you have Q2 here. Okay, so you are supposed to find field at this point P, let us say. Okay, so how do you do it? Again, superposition principle. Now, right now, please observe. Here you don't have any other charge. Okay, you don't have any charge here. Even then, you can find field here. Field at a point, force between the particles. Try to understand the phrase. Field at a point, force between the particles. Okay. So how do you find the field here? You'll have field due to this. You'll have field due to this, like this. At this point, you'll find the field due to both the particles. And again, field is a vector, so you'll just you can use the superposition principle and add them vectorially to find the field. Not an issue. Okay. So you should know all the particulars actually. This distance, angle, everything you should be knowing to find the net field here, E1 and E2, let us say. So you will add them vectorially to find the net field here. Not an issue, you can do on your own. So I'm just telling you, field at a point. అక్కడ charge ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Charge లేకుండా కూడా field find out చేయొచ్చు. Okay. Field at a point. According to the definition, it is like that. So due to a point charge, the field is given by what? KQ by R square at a distance R from the point charge. Suppose it's a point positive charge. Okay, suppose it's a positive charge. Okay, this is R1. Sorry. This is R2 and this is R1. So E ulta పెట్టిన E2 E1. So E1 ఏమవుతుంది? KQ1 by R square. Okay. ఇక టెస్ట్ ఛార్జ్ నిజంగా తీసుకురావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. టెస్ట్ ఛార్జ్, why did we bring test charge? To find the field, we have brought the test charge. You need not bring the test charge every time. అది తీసుకురావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ప్రతిసారి దాన్ని పట్టుకురావాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. టెస్ట్ ఛార్జ్ లేకుండా ఫీల్డ్ ఉంటుంది అట్లా. Okay, so E1 is equal to KQ1 by R square, like this. E2 is KQ2 by R2, KQ2 by R2 square is R1 square. And then you can find the net field. Like this, you can find the field due to an assembly of charges. Okay, there are a lot of charges, let us say. Then you can find field due to every charge at this point, and you can do the vector sum due to field. Okay. Now, some other charge Q if it is coming to this point, okay, if it is coming to this point, what force it will experience is E resultant due to this assembly. E resultant due to this assembly at this point, E due to all the charges you will find, and just multiply with this Q. That's it. Then you will get F resultant due to all the forces on this charge. Isn't it easy to do this? I mean, if you keep ready what is the E value, and the moment the charge comes, then you can easily find the force. Okay, that's convenient, isn't it? That's why we can use it properly. So now, how do you find electric field due to continuous charge distribution? Okay, or this is due to discrete particles. I have told you. What I have done on the whiteboard is due to discrete. Discrete అంటే separate particles ఉంటే field ఎట్లా కనుక్కోవాలి అనేది నేను చెప్పిన. Suppose you have continuous particles, continuous distribution. For example, let us say you have a line charge like this. Line charge having a charge density lambda, for example. Okay, and you may have positive charge like this. Okay, అంటే దాంట్లో charge per unit length is lambda. Okay, తెలుసు కదా charge per unit length అంటే per meter how much charge is there, that is lambda. Okay, now at a distance d, for example, at a distance d, I want to find a field here, and this distance is let us say L1, and this distance is L2. Okay, so I'm supposed to find field at this point D. Okay, distance D. So how do you find that? Okay, let us try to see this. You will consider an element here, and you will find the field due to this element here like this. And then we will take two components of that. Okay, and you can find the field that you have to integrate. ఓకే, అది ఇంటిగ్రేట్ చేయాలి, అటు ఇటు ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ మీరు నేర్చుకోవాల్సిన విషయం ఏంటంటే, ఫైన్, ఫస్ట్ విల్ ఫినిష్ దిస్, దెన్ ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ నైస్ పాయింట్ ఇన్ దిస్. ఓకే, యాక్చువల్లీ సమ్ టైమ్స్ దే విల్ గివ్ యూ దిస్ యాంగిల్, ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఈ L1 L2 ఇవ్వకుండా ఈ యాంగిల్ కూడా ఇస్తారు అప్పుడప్పుడు. అట్లా యాంగిల్ ఇచ్చినా ప్రాబ్లం లేదు, ఎట్లా ఇచ్చినా ఏం కాదు, చేసుకోవచ్చు. This angle also they make you sometimes beta. Okay, so right now I have taken element. Okay, and this angle is, let us say, theta. Okay, theta దగ్గర నేను element consider చేసిన. Okay, and this is lambda into, for example, this is x, let us say. అది x అయితే ఇది ఏమవుతుంది? What will be this? This will be dx. Okay, so lambda dx is dq. Okay, charge enta lambda dx is dq. Due to this lambda dx, I will find field here. How much that would be? K into dq divided by this distance, whatever this distance. Our distance enta etla find out chesaru? This distance is known d. Kabatti this distance will be what? D secant theta, or you can also say d square plus x square under root. Pythagoras theorem. उसका स्क्वायर कर रहा है तो d square plus x square आएगा बस. I hope everybody understood. Kq by r square. Q ఎంత? Lambda dx. అందరిది తెలుసా lambda dx అంటే dq అని ఎట్లా వచ్చిందో? చార్జ్ పర్ యూనిట్ లెంత్ ని లెంత్ తో మల్టిప్లై చేస్తే చార్జ్ వస్తుంది. తెలుసా ఇది?
Okay. So lambda k dq divided by d square plus x square, that is this distance. Okay. And దానికి మనం కాంపోనెంట్స్ తీసుకోవాలి. ఇదేమైతుంది యాంగిల్? This will be theta and this will be 90 minus theta. So this will be E sin theta and this will be dE sin theta and this will be dE cos theta. Okay. So what will be dE cos theta? dE cos theta will be into d by d square plus x square under root. So ये 3/2 हो जाएगा और यहाँ पे d आएगा. Okay. Cos theta को मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया मैंने. This is dE cos theta. అర్థమైందా? dE cos theta ఎట్లా వచ్చిందో? అదర్స్ అర్థమైందా?
సార్.
One second.
సార్ ఇది ఫైనైట్ వైర్ కదా, ఇన్ఫైనైట్?
Finite. ఫైనైట్ వైర్ రా. ఇన్ఫైనైట్ మనం తర్వాత చేద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ డిఈ కాస్ట్ ఫైనైట్ వైర్ ఇది L1 L2 ఇచ్చినా కదా. ఓకే. సో డిఈ కాస్ట్ థీటా ఇటు దిక్కు ఉంటుంది, డిఈ సైన్ థీటా అటు దిక్కు ఉంటుంది, as shown in the figure. So DE cos theta को इंटीग्रेट करना है, तब तुम्हें नेट फील्ड हॉरिजॉन्टल डायरेक्शन में आ जाएगा. Okay, total field along the horizontal direction you will get once you integrate DE cos theta. So how do you integrate? Okay, that we will see. X will be changing. यहाँ पे X change होगा. Okay, so X को क्या substitute करोगे? X you have to substitute as d tan theta. Okay, learned integration. So once you substitute d tan theta, what will happen and all that we'll see. ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్కి వెళ్దామా? రివర్స్ అయిపోయింది కదా. KDQD d square plus x square to the power of 3/2 integration to the power 3/2. Okay, and dq is equal to what? Lambda dx. X is equal to what? D tan theta. So then dx is equal to d secant square theta d theta. So this will be k into d into d secant square theta d theta divided by d square plus d square tan square theta. Substitute the things by 3/2. Okay, and this will be equal to, okay, so this is how it will get, and then you will get what? KD square, correct na? Okay, KD square secant square theta d theta divided by d cube secant cube theta. So this will be secant theta, and we'll get what? K by d. Lambda I didn't write this, isn't it? Lambda by 2. ఇక్కడ lambda dx కదా, ఒక lambda by 2 ఉంటుంది. So k lambda by d into cos theta, integration of cos theta, okay, d theta. ఇప్పుడు cos theta integration ఏమవుతుంది చూద్దాం. Okay, so look at this cos theta integration. Theta is taraf liya maine. Okay, so theta, if I have taken this side, minus alpha to plus beta. Minus alpha to plus beta, you have to take the integration of theta. Okay, so what will be the integration? Minus alpha to plus beta. So that will be cos theta integration is sin theta, not minus sin theta, sin theta only. So the answer will be k lambda by d into sin beta minus of sin minus alpha. Okay, so we'll get what? K lambda by d into sin beta plus sin alpha. Okay, so this is the answer in x direction. Ex is this. Similarly, ey, okay, you do it on your own. Ey you will get as k lambda by d into cos alpha minus cos beta. Okay, this is what you get. It was ये formulas है, याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. You need not remember all this formula. Nobody will ask you. Okay, so based on formula, they will not give you questions. So don't worry about it. Okay. So, but you can find the formulas like this. Now you can actually put the values of alpha and beta according to your wish. Suppose alpha and beta become pi by 2 and pi by 2, then this becomes infinite wire. Okay, suppose the value of alpha and beta are pi by 2 and pi by 2, then this becomes infinite wire. So here you see, if you put pi by 2 and pi by 2, what will happen? This will become 2. Okay, this will become 2. And this will become what? 0. Pi by 2 लगाने से alpha और beta को, तो ये 2 हो जाएगा, ये 0 हो जाएगा. Okay, so if a special case I am talking about. Okay, this cases I will write here. Case 1. Okay, so for a finite wire, this is beta and this is alpha, let us say. Then Ex will be equal to what? Ex will be equal to k lambda by d into sin alpha plus sin beta. Okay, Ey will be equal to k lambda by d into cos alpha minus cos beta. Here you have minus. Okay, mind it. Chuskoni minus until. Okay. Now, so case 1. Let us take alpha and beta as 90 degrees, pi by 2. Okay. Both of them, if you take pi by 2, it means what? It's an infinitely long wire. On both sides, you have to extend it. So in that case, this becomes 0. Okay, this becomes 0, and this becomes what? Ex becomes 2k lambda by d, or you can also say lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught or d, epsilon d. So field Ey will become 0 for infinite wire. Ex alone will be there, and that is this much. While it becomes 0, because Ey will be, see, for example, you take a particle here. Due to this, the field is like this, and components, if you take, you will have like this. If I take a similar particle like this here, you will have field like this, and due to that, field will be like this and like this. These components get cancelled, but horizontal components get added up always. So if you have same amount of line on either side of this point, उस साइड और इस साइड सेम अमाउंट है, उस तरफ और इस तरफ, अगर ये बाइसेक्टर पे है, परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर पे है, तो Ey 0 रहेगा. Ey will be 0 if the interested point is
is on the perpendicular bisector. Okay. So, I'm just what I'm telling you. Okay. So all the 12 slides are filled up now. I'll try to erase and then I'll write. Okay. So right now you can look at this. Okay. I'll clear the drawing here. Now, suppose what I'm saying is, okay, the previous example, I think you have understood infinitely long wire. What's the answer? Lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. You are supposed to remember that. Okay. Now, suppose you have a wire and on the perpendicular bisector, you have this point P. You will just have Ex only. You won't have Ey. And one more important thing now you understand. Okay. See, you will have this field. You will have this field which is similar to a circular arc like this. Okay, circular arc like this. That means whatever field you will have due to this straight wire, the same field is obtained. 1 second. Silicon. One second. ये ब्लूटूथ का पेंसिल में इंक खत्म हो गया. एक मिनट रुको. हाँ, तो इस यहाँ पे देखो एक फाइनाइट वायर अगर है उसके ऊपर परपेंडिकुलर बाइसेक्टर ऐसे ड्रॉ किया मैंने. तो ये फाइनाइट वायर की वजह से ये पी पॉइंट पे जितना फील्ड होगा उतना ही फील्ड ये सर्कुलर आर्क के वजह से भी होगा. ओके, तुम रिजल्ट पता करके मैंने इंटीग्रेशन करके वो पूरा करके पता कर सकते हो. एक्चुअली you can actually, this is not a, I mean, this is not a coincidence actually, but mathematically you are actually getting same. Mathematically, if you see, it will be like a projection. Okay, so you are getting a same answer. Due to this wire, whatever is the field, due to this arc also, same field would be there. Okay. So with this, we'll stop it here, today's class, and then we'll continue again tomorrow from here onwards. Okay, with field we'll start. Continuous body fields will start. Okay. I mean, cases we'll discuss first on this straight line only, then we'll continue with it. Pen is not working right.